how are you? Good to see you. Happy holiday. I'm gonna take this away. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Hiding in the corner.
I'm hiding in the corner. I would have liked the back.
Where's your family?
Everybody was sleeping, and this is the new me.
Yay, new you.
Yes. Hi, Jim.
I wore my fancy socks today. Let's try and figure this thing out. Front desk, can you hear me? Let's see if this can tuck this in. My right knee is a little wonky today, so I might modify it a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I hope the mic is working. It seemed to work a little bit, when I looked back, it kind of got a little louder on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, okay, interesting.
so, you know, it's,
So is it a new mic? I noticed it was something one that's different than the wireless one.
this is wireless.
Oh.
It's just that the thing, the clip broke, so now we're trying to use this thing.
Oh,
and,
gotcha.
You know, and it's like this, so it's weird. And you stick it, it's like.
At least you don't have one of those headsets.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, everybody. How is everybody? How does everybody feel? I'm going to talk a little bit about this guy today, just a little bit about Ganesh. And he is the Lord of New Beginnings, and it places and removes close your eyes or simply soften them if it doesn't feel comfortable to completely close them. And when I say soften them, if you are not closing your eyes, maybe try and imagine that the light is emanating out from your eyes rather than coming in from externally. That may feel them soften a little bit more. And inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Slow down the breath. Notice, are you hastening the beginning of the inhale, the beginning of the exhale? Lengthen the inhale and lengthen the exhale. And really drink the breath all the way in, back, and down to the bottom of your belly. And as you inhale, feel your belly expand, your belly button go out. And as you exhale, feel your belly button retreat towards your spine. And next time, as you fill up your torso top to bottom, also fill it up front to back, side to side. And as you exhale, try and retain all of that space and simply soften around it. Just be here with your breath. Let go of any to-do list for the weekend, for the week to come, for the year to come. Nothing to do but this, nowhere to be but here for the next hour or so. And on the next inhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra, the symbol of the lotus which grows from the muck towards the light, the symbol of our pure heart and mind. So we're placing our pure heart in front of our physical heart. And we'll begin practice with the sound of one Om. Feel free to participate or simply to receive. Deep breath in. Softly bow your head to your heart, your head to each other's hearts. Release the hands, blink open the eyes. Let's go ahead and get started in puppy pose. So take your hands out in front of you, index fingers point straight ahead, and then take your knees back, so they're quite a bit in back of your hips, and then press your hands down and forward, bring your hips more over your knees. Now your head's going to be off the ground. So inhale, get long in the torso. Exhale, maybe soften the heart towards the mat a little bit. So biceps are alongside the ears. And then press your hands down and forward. Feel your torso get a little bit longer. And maybe soften the heart again a little bit more towards the mat. And press your hands down to feel your upper arms lift, your armpits lift. And then exhale, maybe soften a little bit more towards the mat. And inhale, look forward, TP the fingers on the right hand, thread the left hand underneath, palm facing towards the sky for the first twist. Getting into those twists right away. And you can bend your right elbow so your elbow points to the sky, and maybe that'll help you peek under your armpit, twist open a little bit more. And every inhale, use your breath, use the prana, use the life force to get longer in the torso, and exhale, twist open a little bit more. Inhale, come back through center, pause for a breath, and then TP the fingers on the left hand, thread the right hand down and under, and for a twist on the other side. And just doing all the things we did on the other side. Inhaling to create the length, exhaling to twist open just a little bit more. Take another breath here, and then inhale to untwist. Pull yourself up to tabletop. So now our wrists are an inch or so in front of our shoulders, shoulder width apart. Knees are hips width apart, an inch or so in back of the hips. heels point straight to the sky. And notice your belly button wants to fall to the ground. So if you can bring the belly button back and even the sacrum, that flat bone at the base of your spine up to really get that tabletop, that flat back. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, arch your back, look forward, sit bones to the sky. Exhale to round, look to your belly, sit bones towards your heels. And just undulate slowly back and forth through cat and cow. Using the whole breath to come into cow, the whole breath to come into cat. And when you're coming into cow, you can even feel your sit bones widen and expand. And then exhale, look to your belly. Feel that nice stretch, waking up the spine front to back. And if you want to get into the side bodies a little bit, you can take your right shoulder back towards your right hip, making a C in the right side body. Feel that big stretch in the left side body. And then you can switch sides if that feels good. Or just move in any way that feels good to you. And then come to a neutral position, back to that flat back. And then take the right foot back and back of you towards the back of the room. Ball of the foot on the floor. And really reach back through the heel. You can feel it in that calf. You should feel it in your calf bone and all the way up the back of the right leg. So we're opening up the hip flexor, the front of the hip, and stretching the back of the back line, including the calf. And then exhale, lower, inhale, the left leg back, getting that nice stretch on the other side. But notice if your belly button is falling down, mine wants to fall, and keep your left knee just a little bit bent so that it's not locked out, it's not hyperextended. Then release the left leg to the floor, get a little bit of core started here, so right arm towards the front of the room, left leg back towards the back of the room, and flex your left foot, toes point straight down, so your hip wants to open up like this. Making sure that your toes are pointed down will help keep that hip from opening lower. And then switch sides. Left arm goes up towards the front of the room, right leg back. And only take the foot a few inches off the floor. If you take it way up high, it's gonna bring a back bend into it. We wanna keep that flat back, keep the belly button to the spine, and then lower. And then on your breath, inhale, right leg up, left leg back, exhale it down, switching sides, back and forth on your breath. One more each side, and after you've balanced out your sides, we'll meet back in tabletop. Take your right hand behind your head, and then on an inhale, take the right elbow up to the sky. Exhale, bring out a press your body to your left elbow. Twisting again. Let's do 5 of these. Moving slow, using the whole breath to open up, the whole breath to twist it out. I hosted Christmas, and we had pumpkin, after 5, lower it down and switch sides. I made pumpkin cheesecake, we had pumpkin bread, we had Christmas cookies, Christmas candy, oh my God. It was so good, but it was so much. And after your 5, we'll meet back in tabletop. Okay, and when you're ready, step back to plank, pause for a moment. Notice if your shoulders are way in front of or in back of your wrists. If they are, scoot your feet to adjust. Then keeping the hands and the feet exactly where they are, lift your hips, press back to downward dog. And just notice how this feels. This is how long your dog should be, so that you can link up different postures. You can always come back to plank to check it at any point. Every chance for a new beginning. Every breath a chance to reset. Maybe pedal through the heels, start to warm up the back of the leg. As you bend your right leg, reach down through the left heel. Feel that stretch through the calf. And then bend the left leg, reach down through the right heel. Feel the stretch through the right calf. And then come to a neutral position. Press your hands down and forward. Feel your bum come up even higher to the sky. And then exhale. Soften your heart towards your toes a little bit more. And then inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, press back to downward dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale back. Let's do it 3 more times. So we're warming up our shoulders, warming up those hips, flexors. And after your 5, we'll meet back in downward dog. Keeping your hands exactly where they are, let your heels fall to the right. Come to the blade edge of your right foot, the inner edge of the left, and press the hands down and forward to take your hips back, feeling that heel in the left side body. And then inhale, come back through center, and then let the heels fall to the left. Second side. Pressing the hands down and forward to keep the bum lifting up. Trying to keep the shoulders as level as possible, as aligned as possible. Inhale, come back through center. We're going to get into that back of the leg again, all the way from the hip down through the calf. So, raise the right leg straight up and back, pause. Come up onto the tibias or tippy toes of your left foot. Keep that. Take your right inner upper thigh another 1/2 inch. Keep that. Lower the left heel slowly down to the ground. Feel that big stretch through the back leg. Lower the right to meet the left. Feel that? Yeah. Then let's balance out the sides. Left leg up. Tippy toes of the right foot. Take the inner upper left thigh a little bit higher. And then slowly lower the right heel down to the ground. Big stretch through the back of the calf. Lower the left to meet the right. Now notice how the dog feels. Press down from your heart through your hands, and then exhale. Press down through your hips. Lower your heels a little bit closer to the floor. And then inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, bend your elbows, half push-up, chaturanga. Inhale, come forward for cobra. Stay as high or as low as you want, but isometrically draw your hands towards the midline and back towards you. Feel your chest open up, shoulders up, back, and down. Lower the chest, make your way back to downward dog. You can roll over the knees through tabletop, press up to plank, whatever feels good to you. Raise the right leg straight up and back. Step it through to lunge. So right knee directly over right ankle. Get the foundation, and then slowly lower the left knee to the ground. Pad is needed. You can use your blanket. You can roll your mat up. Whatever feels good to you. And then inhale the arms up. Lift the pelvis up. Belly button in. Ribs in. Chin back. Maybe descend another 1/2 inch into the front knee. Maybe start to curl back. But if you're curling back, go up with the chest before you lean back into it. So you're bending in the upper chest, not the upper back, not the lower back. Inhale, come up through center, pause. Left hand comes across the body in front of you. Hook the left elbow outside the right thigh, just above the knee. Hands come to Anjali-asana. Come to prayer for the twist, opening up towards the brick wall. And every inhale, create the space. Every exhale, press your hands together. Use your elbow to help open up that twist more towards the wall. If you wanna raise the left knee off of the ground to fire it up, feel free. And then if the knee is up, lower it down. Inhale back through center. Exhale the hands down. Step back to downward dog. Work through one vinyasa. Holding cobra for 3 breaths. Letting the chest open up. Really take the shoulders up, back, and down. And after your 3 breaths, make your way back to downward dog. Inhale the left leg straight up and back, step it through to lunge. Really bring your knee to your chest to step through as gracefully and softly as possible. And then lower the right knee this time. And an inhale comes forward. So keep dragging the back knee forward and the front heel back, creating the lift, ribs in, maybe start to curl back. Notice that your left hip wants to hike up, so maybe bring it down just a little bit. Then inhale, come back through center, thread the right arm across, coming into the twist on the second side. Keep a small crease in the right hip. If your knee is down, raise the right knee up if you want a little more fire. Twisting open ever so slightly more on the exhale. And then lower the right knee down. If it's up, come back through center. Exhale the hands down. Press back to downward dog. Work through one vinyasa on your breath. Raise the right leg straight up and back. Step it through to lunge. Hands come to the floor or the blocks. You want to take your blocks to the highest height that you need so you can achieve that flat back. So I'm not hunching over. We're gonna do this because a couple of weeks ago I was subbing for Larry and I messed up and didn't do the second side. And nobody told me. Later in the day, I was like, oh, what? Okay, so when you're ready, inhale to come up, Virabhadrasana 1, crescent variation. So isometrically draw your feet towards the midline, feel the lift, and then ribs in, chin back, just send another half an inch. You want your front thigh to be as parallel to the ground as possible. I know that's really hard. And then exhale the hands down to the blocks, turn them up to their highest height, press down through the right big toe ball now to take the right thigh back and straighten the right leg. So both legs are straight-ish, but not locked out. And notice, is your left hip raising up? It might need to come forward and down to level your hip. If you want to get more into the calf, raise the front of the foot off the ground. So dorsiflex your foot, flex your foot a little bit more. Inhale, look forward, create a lot of length in the spine, keeping all of that length. Exhale, fold inside the right leg. Doing your best to keep from overly rounding. You could do that again. Inhale to create the space, and exhale to fold. Now, this is where you have options. We're gonna come into a twist. You can keep your left hand exactly where it is. You can move your block right inside your right foot if you want more, and then take your right hand up to the sky. Coming into the twist. You can look to the side for more. I'm looking forward because I have having a balance challenge in this moment. And then unwind, bend into the front knee, plant the hands, step back to downward dog. How did that go? Okay? feeling your own body. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, maybe fold. You can stay static in the fold, or if you want to, on every inhale, you can create more length. Exhale to fold in. And then we'll come to the twist. So right hand, take your choice. You can stay where it is, move it inside the left foot, opening up to the side wall, the Monroe Street wall. Keeping the right hip down, leaning back on the left shoulder, excuse me. One more breath, and then unwind, bend to the front knee, step back to downward dog. Work through one vinyasa. Bend your knees, look forward, jumper step to the front of your mat, press down to rise up, reach up, arms high to the sky, tall mountain, maybe look up. Shins are hugging towards the midline, belly button in, ribs in, chin back, and then exhale the arms down. Inhale them up, bend the right elbow, reach with the left hand over for the elbow, and gently persuade it up towards the ceiling as you ever so slightly press the elbow back into the hand. Notice my chin wants to fall forward, so I take it, press it back into my wrist or my forearm, stretching it out. Another breath. Inhale the arms up, bring them down, inhale them back up, and then switch sides. I don't usually practice with my glasses on, but I'm doing that because if I don't, I can't see you. But right now, I feel like they've slid all the way to the bottom of my nose and I look like Mrs. Santa Claus. It's kind of weird. Yep, there you go. Keep pressing the head back. Keep the inner upper thighs reaching back so you're not falling forward like this. Inhale the arms up, exhale them in back. You can interlace your hands behind your back or grab your strap about sit bones width apart. Even if you can interlace, sometimes it feels good to get a little bit different action using the strap. Inhale, get really broad in the front of the chest. And then as you exhale, keep this breath as you start to rip your hands apart. So we're not overly crunching the back, we're keeping the breath in the front and the back. And then if you take your arms away from your bow a little bit more, you'll feel it more up into the arms, not just the chest. Another breath. And then release, press down, rise up, and exhale to fold. So hands come to the blocks or the floor, whatever you need to keep that flat back. Bring whatever you need into the practice. Maybe it's the day to let go of the block and try a different variation, trying to get maybe your hands to the floor. Inhale, look forward, even draw your fingers back towards your feet, towards your toes. You'll feel that help extend the spine. Then exhale, keeping the length, fold. And then inhale to look forward. Exhale to fold. And notice the foundation. Notice your feet. Are your arches falling in? If they are, bring more attention to the blades, the edge of your foot. Maybe rock forward and back a little bit to find that just right Goldilocks position where your hips are over your ankles. So legs are straight-ish but not left out. And then press down to rise up, reach up, and exhale, hands to heart center. You can close your eyes if you want, take a drink if you want, just notice your breath, notice your heart rate. Noticing how you feel after just this little bit of practice on this gloomy wet morning. Maybe you feel like you're getting rid of some of the kinks from being in bed all night. And if your eyes are closed, open them up. Press down, rise up. Exhale to plant the hands, bend the knees, reach the right leg back, coming into lunge. Keep the right hand down and we'll come to another twist. So left arm comes up to the sky. Notice that your right hip wants to fall down. Keep that right hip lifting up and your left hip moving down. And lean back on that left shoulder. And then inhale to unwind. Step forward. Keep the knees bent. Step the left leg back. Really reach through the heel as you step the leg back. That'll really engage the glutes. Then right arm comes up to the sky. And notice once again, my left hip wants to fall. So keep the left hip up, the right sit bone extending down towards the right heel. Leaning back to open up even more towards the brick wall. And then inhale to unwind, step forward. Take a deep breath to rise up. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands, step back to plank. Keep your hands pressing down to keep your hips lifting up. Inner upper thighs lifting up. Belly button in, ribs in. Gonna come into the new year strong. If you want to distract yourself a little bit, you can raise your right leg off of the floor and just rest your foot on the back of the left heel. Say, okay, that's something new, that's something different. It's happening. And then we'll put the right one down, raise the left one up for a few seconds. Just resting, keeping the belly button in, keeping all of that in. Knees down is always an option. Come back to neutral, 5 more seconds. Press back to downward dog, lower the knees, take a rest. Yay! Okay, that was a minute. That was a minute. So you can take a drink, come to child's pose. You can have your toes flat. If you want to stretch your feet out, tuck your toes under. This time of year, especially, we're in boots a lot, so it might feel good to stretch your feet out. But keep lifting, keep everything light. So hugging to the midline, you'll feel yourself be lighter. You can close your eyes if you like. I'm going to show you a Ganesha Mudra, coming back to Ganesh. A mudra is a seal. It's meant to, at any time if your toes are tucked under, come up and give them a wiggle. It's meant to stimulate the energy and to focus the mind. So it's used often with chanting, and mudras are used often with chanting and with meditation. They're usually hand gestures, but not always. So this is the Ganesh, there's another Ganesh. This is one of the Ganesha mudras. Now, bring your hands together in prayer, elbows up, shoulder height. Turn the right hand in front, so it's like in line with your forearms. And as you slowly widen your elbows apart and curve your fingers to get that clasp. This is Ganesha Mudra. Now when you're doing this with meditation or mantra, you would keep it very, very soft. But since we're doing asana, we're doing physical practice, try and rip your hands apart and really feel the upper back engaged. Do you feel that engagement?
Yes.
Yeah. And then exhale to release. Now, once again, if you're doing mantra and mudra, the right hand is always in front, but we're doing asana, so we'll balance the sides. So coming back, this time turning the left hand in front, widen the elbows apart, curve the fingers so you're clasping. And then, like I said, if you're not doing asana, we keep it very light and mellow, but we're just gonna rip the hands apart, feeling the upper back engage. Exhale to release. Geeking out a little bit different, a little Trina flavor, not a Larry flavor. Gotta make it your own. Okay, let's come back to tabletop. Press back to downward dog. back, step it through to lunge, turn the back heel down, and cartwheel the hands up into warrior two. So we want the right knee to be directly over the right ankle. So if it's up here, and you have like a slide, you need to lean forward into that front knee, taking the right thigh as parallel to the ground as possible. Left thigh comes back, so your hip bones are pointing towards the side wall. And then descend another ½ an inch into the front knee as you just gaze out over the middle finger. Belly button in, ribs in. And then exhale the elbow to the thigh just above the knee. Sweep the left arm across, coming into extended side ankle. So you want a really strong straight line from your left ankle through your hip and out your fingertips. So even spread your fingers wide and take the left ribs back, the right ribs forward. Maybe the right hand comes to the floor or the block. What you want to bring to your practice or what you want to leave out of your practice. Maybe you start to look up. Inhale, come back up through warrior two. Pause for a breath. Cartwheel the hands down. Press back to downward dog. Work through one vinyasa. Lift the left leg up, step it through to lunge, send the back heel down, coming up to warrior two, second side. So the back toes are pointing in just a little bit, taking the right thigh back this time, reaching back through the right hand a little bit to center your torso over your hips, and then descend a little bit more. And isometrically, keep the feet drawing towards the midline. Feel these muscles engage. This is a strong pose. Another couple breaths. And then exhale, elbow to the knee. Sweep the right arm up. Coming into extended side ankle. Parsvanasana, second side. So keep the ribs in. It's not a big back bend. Maybe the left hand comes down to the floor or the blocks. If you're doing that, it's a hinge, it's a flexion in the hip, not bending at the waist. Both sides of the waist should be equal distance. Inhale to come back through warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Step back to downward dog. Come forward to plank. And slowly lower to your bellies. I'm feeling like we have some fire, but we want to balance it with some chill. Is that kind of like the holidays? We go, 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 and then I mean, like, my sister-in-law left yesterday finally. And so it's like, yes, I didn't do anything. I didn't even get off the couch. So just take a rest. You can make a pillow with your hands. You can turn your cheek to one side. And then if your cheek is turned to the side, switch the position of your hands and turn your cheek to the other side. I love my sister-in-law, but you know. And then bring your head to neutral. Keep your right elbow bent, elbow in front of you. Bend your left knee, reach back for your left foot or your ankle. If you can reach the ankle, flex the left foot. But keep the right leg engaged, so it's not just lying there. And then, belly button to spine, pubic bone to the mat. Feel the neutralization in the pelvis, and then draw the heel a little bit closer. You'll feel that side thigh stretch a little bit more. And then watch the going as you release and switch sides. My sister-in-law doesn't do yoga or watch yoga, so she will never hear that. Switch your sides. stay up, or
I like to place my forehead on my wrist. It's a little bit easier on my lower back. Pressing the pubic bone into the mat, drawing the heel closer to the right hip. And then slowly release.
Come to roll onto your right side, like I am. You can look up here if you don't know what I'm talking about. And bend your elbow, put your head on your hand, knees are bent in front of you. Larry calls this TV watching pose. It actually has a name. It's Anuttanasana. So raise your left knee off of the ground, reach inside the left knee for the blade edge of the left foot, and then straighten the leg so the foot comes up towards the sky. Keeping a small micro bend in the left knee, keeping the right heel pressing into the bamboo. So it's called, in English, some people call it blissful pose. I don't know what's so blissful about it, but it's also called Vishnu reclining pose. Turn the left outside of the thigh towards the back of the room. Feel the left hip open up a little bit more. And then bend the left knee, slowly release. Switch sides. So roll onto your left side. If it doesn't feel good to put your hand on your head, you can put it down on your forearm, just whatever feels good for you. And then bring the right knee in, reach inside the knee for the blade edge of the foot, taking it up to the sky. This time turning the outseam of the right thigh back towards the back of the room, feeling a little more space in that right hip when you do that. One more breath. And then bend the right knee, coming out of it, come onto your bellies. Take your hands, middle of the chest, tuck the toes under, take the shoulders up and back, belly button in, press up to chaturanga, press up to plank, press back to downward dog. Inhale the right leg up, step it through to lunge, turn the toes to the left, walk the hands to the left, coming into wide-legged forward fold. Mindful of butt to head ratio, you might want to adjust a little bit. Toes are parallel with the short ends of your mat, or tucked in, pigeon-toed up just ever so slightly. And then inhale to look forward. Feel that length in your spine. Exhale to fold. Keeping a small micro bend in both the knees so they're straight but not locked out. And then everybody bend your knees quite a bit. And then as you exhale, press your inner upper thighs back to straighten your legs. Maybe you come a little closer to the floor. Stay here if you want, or take your left hand to the midpoint and open the right arm up to the sky for the twist. And notice what happens with your left hip. Is it trying to come forward? Keep it back as you lean back on your right shoulder. And then if you're twisting, untwist, bring the right hand to center, and then open the twist up to the other side. And then untwist, fold. Inhale, look forward, walk the hands to the right, turn the right toes to point forward, turn the back heel up, step back to downward dog. Just stay here for a moment. Notice how this dog may be different than that very first one. Maybe turn your biceps in towards your ears. Feel your shoulders come away from your ears a little bit more. Maybe the heels come a little closer to the ground. And then inhale the left leg up, step it through to lunge. Walk the hands to the right, turn the toes to the right, coming into wide-legged forward fold, second side. You can inhale to look forward, time, if you wanna take a shoulder stretch, you can interlace your hands behind your back like we did before. And then take the hands overhead. Keeping a small micro bend in the knees, but wrapping the inner upper thighs back. And then exhale to release. Walk your hands to the left, turn your toes to the left, and come into down dog. Inhale the right leg straight up and back. Step it through to lunge. Lower the back knee pad as needed. You might want your blocks. They might be handy for you. Bring what you need. We're coming into lizard pose. So walk your right foot out to the side a little bit. Give yourself more space. You can even point your toes at an angle a little bit. Inhale to get really long in the spine. Exhale. Elbows can come down to the blocks. They can come down to the floor. Trying to keep the right knee in line with the right second toe. And if you want more fire, lift the back knee up. But look out towards your fingertips, not back at your belly, to keep that length in the neck, the length in the spine. And then if your knee is up, let it come down. Walk the foot in just a little bit. Now you can come to Hanuman or baby Hanuman. If you're coming to baby Hanuman, you might want to take your knee back just a little bit and then rock your hips back. Right toes point towards the ceiling, right knee points towards the ceiling. You can inhale to get long and exhale to fold. Perfectly great place to stay. If you want to come more into Hanuman, I like to take my blocks up to the highest height, and I'm walking my knee back, walking my blocks back, walking my knee back, walking my blocks back, coming back into a deeper split. But keep the right heel digging into the bamboo and isometrically without really moving it, drawing back towards you to keep a small micro bend in that right knee. And then draw the right heel back, the right heel back, the left knee forward. Feel the engagement. Maybe you go and then a little bit deeper. Some of you will feel this like this is horrible, and then other people will be like, look at my split, Lisa. And then slowly come out of it. Draw the right knee back. Plant the hand, step back to downward dog. Coming out of that one very carefully. It's a big, big, big stretch for a lot of people. Then raising the left leg up, stepping through to lunge. We're going to the second side. So lower the back, knee down, widen the left knee, left foot out to the side. You can turn it open. And then bring the left arm down first, the right arm to follow. Coming into lizard second side. Tracking that left knee with the second toe, the one next to your big toe. Bringing your heart forward to keep that length in the spine. And then raise the back leg up, the back knee up if it feels appropriate and you want a little more. Reaching out the crown of the head, keeping the chin from falling to the ground. Then if the knee is up, lower it down, come up, and walk the left foot in a little bit, and your version. Baby Hanuman, take the knee back, rock the hips back to be here, or walk the blocks back, walk the knee back, walk the blocks back, walk the knee back, till you come to your edge. Find as far as you want to go. But the front foot is flexed, toes pointing straight up, knee pointing inhale, ribs in, chin back, get really long in the spine, maybe start to fold. You can come to your elbows. You can rest your forehead on your hands. If you can make fists with your hands and rest one on top of the other. But feeling the big peel in the back of the right hip. Keeping the left knee drawing forward, the right knee drawing back, keeping that lift. And don't look down at your belly, look at out in front of you where your fingers would be to keep that length in the spine. And then inhale to come up. Come up onto your hands, bend the left knee, and with your right hand, reach back for a twisted thigh stretch. Yes, so we're opening our chest up towards the brick wall. You can take your left hand out to the side a little bit more, give you more of a foundation. And on every inhale, getting long in the torso, exhale, leaning back on the right shoulder, but open up the chest, open up the heart to the brick wall. And then watch the point as you release, plant the hands, step back to downward dog. Pedal a little bit, notice the difference. And then inhale the left leg up, step it through to pigeon. This time, the knee is all the way, left knee is all the way out to the left side of the mat. Peep that your right leg is straight out and back of you. It wants to splay out to the side. I don't know why it just went up. But isometrically draw your knees towards the midline. You see all of this strength. I don't need my hands at all. It's a powerful pose. Belly button in, get long in the spine, keeping the length, fold. If you want to fold. If you want to stay up, stay up. But feeling that big stretch in the back of the left hip. Looking out where your fingertips are rather than back at your belly. Pressing through the big toe ball mound of the left foot so your foot doesn't sickle. Maybe walk the right knee into the midline a little bit more so you feel more pressure on the outside of the kneecap rather than the top. Feeling the peel, it opens up over time. Larry likes to talk about time under tension. It's how we move things forward. And then inhale to come up. Then the right knee with the left hand reach back for the thigh stretch and the twist. I take the right hand out to the side a little bit more to give myself more of a foundation. Drawing the knees towards the midline to create the lift. And then opening up more towards Monroe Street. And then watch the point as you release. Press back to downward dog. And lower the knees. Okay. Come to a seated position. Take a breath. Take a rest. big stretch in the left hip here. Trying to sit up as tall as possible so I'm not overly rounding. Heart comes forward, chin goes back, and then you can rock side to side as the name implies. It's called baby cradle. So we're cradling a baby here. Now stay here with the hip opener if you like. If you want to try for the arm balance, you take your leg up and get it up as high above the elbow as possible, and then really clamp it down. Otherwise it's going to slide off like that. So bring the leg up, clamp it down, hands in chaturanga, right ankle over left ankle, and then you lean forward, bend the elbows. See how far? If I fall, I'm not falling very far. Yeah, straighten your legs more, Jen. There you go. Look forward. Yes. Okay, you want to give it a try? Okay, just get your hands down. Okay, not very many takers. That's cool. It's what you want to bring into your practice, what you want to leave out of your practice. Take that axe and say, no more axe in your practice. And then switch sides. And notice that if your foot is like this, your foot wants to sickle in like this. So keep pressing the big toe mound forward. Larry says like it's a gas pedal. I'm more like it's a Barbie foot. Okay, right? You know, Barbie's foot's always like that even when she's barefoot. You can rock side to side, getting that opener. And then if you want to try the arm balance, you can come up, ankle over ankle, plant the hands like chaturanga, and then lift the hips, straighten your legs. That's it. Yes. Straighten your legs. Bend the right elbow. Bend the left elbow. See, your left elbow is straight. You have to bend both elbows. Ankle, yeah. Bend both elbows. Look forward. Yes. Look forward. Yes. You're almost there. Yes.
Okay, like
You're not. That counts. Okay, everybody, grab your mats. Hit the wall. It's not a Larry class without an inversion, right? There's plenty of space. We can open up here, space up here. If you're under the lights, you can't kick all the way up. So just notice that if you're directly under a light, you won't be able to kick all the way up. So if you want to kick all the way up, move away from a light a little bit. Now I'll talk everybody through down dog at the wall and elbows. If it's not your day to invert, if you just want to, if it's your day to chill, come imagine that this was the wall, bring your bum to the wall and bring your legs up the wall. Same benefits of an inversion with your heart below your feet. But otherwise, if you're, a lot of you have really nice inversion practices, go ahead and get started, do whatever you want to do. You could go into headstand or tripod, and then twist with the legs apart, or you could go crow to tripod and come down to twisted crow if that's in your wheelhouse. Otherwise, come to your hands and knees with your feet at the wall. So tabletop, feet at the wall. on the floor. You can reach for your heels. That'll give you a gauge and indication that your knees are where they should be. We want them to be above your ankles as best as possible, not out here. So if you can touch your heels, that's a pretty good indication. Feet are parallel, hips width apart. You can bend your elbows, fingers point towards the sky, palms face one another. And then when you're ready, press down through the feet, press down through the upper arms to lift the hips coming into bridge pose. But don't overly jut your pelvis to the ceiling. You want to wrap the inner upper thighs in and down a little bit. You can keep your hands where they are, interlace them behind your back with your wrists on the floor, let them fall on your belly, whatever feels comfortable to you. But press your feet down and forward. Feel the bridge grow. Get deeper under the upper back. Maybe wrap the shoulders under a little bit. And then press the head back into the floor. Feel the muscles of your neck relax. Keep the knees drawing to the midline. And then slowly lower down. Take the feet wide. Let the knees touch. One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Or if you want more of a shoulder stretch, open your arms up into field goal or cactus. And then reset the feet. We'll do another bridge. You can go into wheel if you like, upward facing bow. So reset the feet, pressing down through the feet, pressing down through the upper arms. Lift the hips off of the floor. If you want to come into wheel, take your hands outside your ears, wide, all the way to the edges of your mat. Draw your elbows towards the midline. Feel the arms, bones plug in, and then press down to rise up, coming into wheel. Upward facing bow. If you're in wheel, pump your heart towards the direction you're looking, and maybe try and straighten the legs a little bit. And wherever you are, slowly lower down. Take the knees wide. Let the knees fall to the right. Bring them up through center. Let them fall to the left. Just windshield wipering back and forth. Going slow. Use the entire inhale to come up through center. The entire exhale to fall to the side. Next time you've completed both sides, come to a neutral position with your feet on the floor. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. Take your right ankle over your left thigh, just above your knee. And then if you want, interlace your hands behind your left thigh and lift your left foot off of the ground so the shin is parallel with the ground. And as you're drawing the left knee towards your chest, widen the right knee away from the chest. I even sometimes use my right hand to help widen it out to the side. If you want to get into those hamstrings again, you can straighten the left leg. So like you're going to put a footprint on the sky. On the ceiling. One more breath. If your knee is leg is straight, bend the knee, release the thigh, bring the left foot to the ground, pause. Take your right ankle and move it towards the left, bringing your right thigh on top of your left thigh. Yes, scoot your bum to the right, let your knees fall to the left, keeping your right shoulder rooted into the ground. If it feels like your right shoulder is really popping off of the ground, you can press your left elbow into the bamboo and feel it root even more strongly. And then inhale, come back up through center, unwind everything, and reset. Both feet on the ground, knees bent. Draw the left the right leg if you like towards the sky, getting into the hamstring again. And then if the right leg is straight, bend it, lower the foot to the ground, pause. Take the left foot and slide it to the right, bringing the left thigh over the right thigh. Scooch the bum to the left and let the knees fall to the right. This time keeping the left shoulder rooted into the ground. And even here, belly button to the spine. And you can really press your thighs together, press your shins together. One more breath. And then inhale to unwind. Draw your knees to your chest. Give yourself a hug. Make small circles one direction. Small circles the other direction. And then take a block and place it inside of your thighs with your knees at a 90-degree angle. Shins are parallel to the floor. You can take your arms out to the side for more support and let the knees fall to the right. Inhale them back up through center. Exhale, let them fall to the left. And do 5 on each side. Getting a little bit of twist and a little bit of core work at the same time. After your 5, ditch the block. And take it, straighten your legs, straighten your arms, take a nice big stretch. Hug your knees to your chest. Take the knees wide, come into happy baby. So you can take the knees wide and reach inside the knees for the blade edge of your foot. Alternatively, if your bum is really flying off of the floor, let go of the feet and grab the knees or the shins, drawing the knees wide and then up towards your ears. Either one is fine. You can rock side to side. We did a lot of hamstring today. You can straighten one leg, straighten both legs. And then when you're ready, let go of everything and we'll take a Shavasana. So feel free to add layers or props. You can take the block or a blanket, roll the blanket and place it under your knees. That can help for your lower back. You can take your knees, feet together, knees wide. If you're doing that in Baddha Konasana, take the blocks and put them under your thighs so nothing is straining. We've done a lot of work. It's not time to work. It's time to balance this all out now. Shavasana allows us to feel how it feels after all of that work, how your body feels. Let your feet come towards the edges of your mat. Let your feet fall apart. Let them fall to the side. Take your hands away from your body a little bit. Give yourself some space. Let your body be heavy. Let your mind be light. Let your heart open up. We're going to do a little bit of breath work, just like very little bit. We're going to inhale for 4 beats, pause at the top, and exhale for 6 beats. When we exhale longer than we inhale, it's soothing. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, and exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And do that 2 more times on your own. Inhale, pause, exhale. Inhale, pause, exhale. breath in. Let it out. Start to make small movements. Start to reawaken the body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe stretch your arms overhead. And when you're ready, roll onto your favorite side and pause for a moment in that very familiar fetal position. When you're ready, press yourself up through your strong arms and come into any comfortable seated position with your eyes closed or softened and your hands in front of your heart. Once again, in Ashwini Mudra prayer. Thank you all for being here today, for connecting. I wish you all the best, bringing the new that you choose into your life, releasing the old, bringing any change into the new year that you desire. We'll end the practice with the sound of one Om. Big breath in. Softly bow your head to your heart.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend, a great new year. Larry will be back Thursday. I believe the schedule is still a little wonky. Tuesday, there's only one class. I think at 10:30. Wednesday, there's one class, I believe, at noon. So just check the schedule. There's a ton of new workshops coming up in January. So yeah. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me turn on all this stuff.
Trina,
Yes.
I don't think I've ever actually taken a class of yours, but you are a phenomenal teacher of asana as well.
Thank you.
That was a
Thank
great
you.
class, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Do you have regular classes on?
Tuesday
Oh.
at noon.
Oh.
I know it's a weird time. But thank
Well,
you.
thank you.
That
was
means a
wonderful.
lot. Thanks. Tell Eric.
Okay.
Like, let me try and get this thing off. Okay, here. Let me turn this off. Okay, let me see. Exit.